Wait. Aren't these two teams almost exactly the same? Club Festival 6 and Club Festival 9. Copy and paste. They just swapped Redestro and AFO for two meta supports instead. Dabi doesn't even have 10 last stands without his villain teammates. But who needs them when Hatsume is giving everyone max HP up? Anyway, Club Festival 9 was the most challenging club festival yet. We're getting our rewards in a few more days on February 23rd JST time. Make sure to log in during those 3 days because you are not able to claim your rewards after the results announcement period ends. Meanwhile, I was able to cash the results before the event ended, so let's go over them, talk about each fight, and who the MVPs were this time. This could maybe help you decide who you want to focus on summoning if you want to improve your club festival scores. This is the top 100 individual ranking around 5 minutes before the event ended. So the final results could be a little different depending on who played last minute, but this should mostly be accurate. Perhaps thanks to how ridiculous this club festival was, I did manage to secure my best individual ranking yet. Now, there is also the possibility that someone could have improved their score right before the event ended. If so, congrats to that person. I tried with 5 minutes left, but it was not happening. Bakugo got bound one final time. I am really happy with my current ranking though, especially since I did skip the latest banners leading up to Club Festival, New Year's Kirishima and Mina, Ruler of the Edge Ida, Ruler of the Edge Denki, and then two new gem pools, Toga and Best Jeanist, as well as Valentine's Nejire in the final 2 days. I do plan on summoning for her, I just haven't had time yet. But yes, I managed to secure 11th place. This is actually top 10 though, because this is a hacker. I really do hope the hacker will get removed. Club Festival 8 did remove the hackers, so I'm hopeful it'll happen this time too. So yeah, as I was saying, I was worried that my score would get impacted a lot from skipping a lot of the newer characters and having a lot of my characters stuck at base copy. And if you don't know, I am completely free to play. I love to hoard my gems and tickets, and I like summoning for favorite characters over meta. But I do try to summon meta characters here and there, just enough to stay somewhat competitive while still keeping enough in reserve to summon my favorites. So with that in mind, getting 10th, maybe 11th is really cool. Next up, club ranking. My club, Hawks Agency, did get first 2 times in the daily ranking, which were both really difficult days. But overall, the top club goes to Ultra L, followed by Dark Revelry in second, and my club Hawks Agency came in third. Congratulations to everyone on surviving an entire week of the most challenging club festival yet. Club festival is always difficult, but this time, the difficulty was raised even more. Let's talk about the teams we fought each day and who I feel the MVPs of this club festival were. Now, this is mostly my experience, which is limited to the characters I have. I am missing a lot of characters, so your experience could be very different, and here I have a screenshot of how I felt on a lot of the days. Day 1, we fought Gathered Radiance Hagakure, Ruler of the Edge Hawks, Ruler of the Edge Ida, New Year's Denki, and New Year's Mina. The game hit us with a super hard team right from the start. Ida just rushed us to death, and the team was super fast. But I did manage a decent score fairly early on and enjoyed my 5 minutes of fame at number 1, though my team ended up pretty differently by the end. My initial best run was with Destruction Incarnate Shigi inflicting fear on them, but sadly he did not end up on the final team. Day 2, we fought Destruction Incarnate Shigi, Hellfire's End Dabi, Summer Toga, Mr. Compress, and All of Me Toga. A full villains team. A really cool theme team. But Twice and AFO weren't invited. Instead, we have Double Toga, who are both very strong. This team hit super hard. At one point, my HP was decayed so much that my team couldn't move because of fear. I thought this day was pretty bad because of how hard everyone hit, but this day turned out to be the easiest day score-wise. Hatsume saved my score so much. I'm so glad I was lucky enough to get her on the 2025 retrospective banner. Day 3, we fought Mind Melt Lady, Mr. Compress, Climax Battle AFO, Int Nejire, and Destruction Incarnate Shigi again. The first 4 characters all got buffed with enhancement. That's the theme, I suppose. while Shigi is kind of just there because he did not get buffed, he just showed up with enhancement since he is one of the newer characters. I bet the idea was if we chose to get Mount Lady out first, Shigi would come in and buff his villain teammates. Mr. Compress was a pain to deal with, he bound my team so much. AFO kept stealing my buffs, and Mount Lady made Piercing Shot a pretty bad idea. She's been here since Club Festival 6. This day was just so full of RNG. If Mr. Compress didn't bind, then it was a good run. A lot of my clubmates were able to try Alumi Toga, I believe on this day, and she did amazing even at base copy. I really hope I manage to get her someday. But as someone who is missing Alumi Toga and New Year's Mina, I tried a completely different team of my own and was able to score decently. Day 4, we fought DST Present Mike, DST Monama, DST Shinso, New Year's Kirishima, and Snowboard Hawks. My team got confused so much. Shinso's force aggro also made my characters die pretty quickly. In the end, I went with a not so great solution of 2 supports just so I could deal with all the status ailments. Thank you, Summer Mina, for saving my team. And you know what? Shinso is not this good on my teams. Come on. I wish. Day 5. Day 5 was so painful. This day brought the lowest scores. I thought no way would they throw block at us, right? There's no way they'll have us fight power to change the future Bakugo during Club Festival. But here he was. Not only that, he had Hagakure and Best Genius as his teammates. This feels like Arena all over again, but worse because their stats are so high. I had no choice but to fight Bakugo with my own Bakugo. My steampunk Aizawa actually came out of retirement for this. Day 6, we fought New Year's Kirishima, All of Me Toga, New Year's Mina, Power to Change the Future Bakugo again, and Power to Change the Future Deku. Not that I even got to the back line. Survival was my biggest focus because they hit way too hard. Survival was so hard that I actually brought Ruler of the Edge Aizawa to this fight. Aizawa, who has Tranquility and nerfs our own crit. When he was released, I thought there's no way I'd ever bring him to Club Festival, come on. He's not a Club Festival character. But now that Club Festival is throwing arena teams at us, super overpowered versions of these arena teams, hey, that is Aizawa's specialty. He kept my team alive very well. He probably earned me a score that is far from the best score for day 6, but it was a good enough score thanks to being able to survive. Survival was just so important. And the team worked very smoothly for me. I would say maybe day 6 was actually my favorite thanks to that. Day 7. The final day of Club Festival threw Hatsume, Celeb Bakugo, Dabi, Hagakure, and Getten at us. 2 of the best supports right now. Hatsume and Hagakure. I still remember Dabi from Club Festival 6. This is almost a copy and paste of that team, but they replaced Redestro and AFO with Hatsume and Hagakure, which made this fight infinitely harder. Dabi hits super hard with plus ultra every turn. Back in Club Festival 6, I really wished I had Celeb to decrease his plus ultra gauge to deal with him. I do have Celeb now, but I also needed to deal with the max HP up Hatsume gave us with her AoE attack. We needed to deal with cooldowns, max HP up, and surviving Dabi's attacks. What a final day. I Victorious Bakugo, Season 3 Bakugo, did so well for me on day 7 with buff block. Next up, let's talk about my personal MVPs. I'm gonna do a breakdown of all the characters I used this time. Last Club Festival, I used only 7 characters in all, but this time I used 12. The following characters are the ones I used frontline from my limited roster. Keep in mind that I am missing a lot of characters. This is the experience of a completely free-to-play player who enjoys summoning for favorite characters over meta, though I do try to summon some meta characters here and there to stay somewhat competitive. I'll include honorable mentions at the end from what I've heard worked well for others. And I would love your help to learn more about characters I don't have and how they did in Club Festival. By the way, Let me know which day of Club Festival was your favorite and which day was your least favorite. Which day was the most fun for you? Alright, first up are the characters I used one single time. I'll mention the top 3 MVPs at the end. Steampunk Aizawa. He came out of retirement for this. He's great on double support teams. He was kind of forced to retire when Hagakure released, which led to single support and double DPS teams. But with how hard the enemies hit this time, double support might be making a return. He can give piercing shot to your DPS character, provide team cooldown plus ultra gauge, increase stun, bind, and skill resistance, provide some healing, good damage buffs, and cancel temporary buffs. He's not as useful as before, but his ability to give your DPS character piercing shot is still pretty unique. We do have a lot more characters who simply have piercing shot built in now though. So if you don't already have him, I sadly don't feel he's a must summon anymore, especially if you have most of the newer support characters. But Aizawa is Aizawa. Aizawa is super cool, so if you like Aizawa, this is one of the best Aizawas. Ruler of the Edge Aizawa. I never thought I would ever use him for Club Festival, but with how hard it was to survive on some days, Tranquility actually came into use. Thank goodness I like Aizawa so much, since his banner seemed like a skip for Club Festival. I simply summoned because I summoned for all Aizawas, and so far I have been able to UR plus every single Aizawa. Tranquility means no crits for our team or the enemy, but we get all the buffs. Aizawa cancels buffs, blocks buffs, restricts the opponent's buffs, prevents status ailment cancellation, decreases their defense, decreases their power, restricts our status ailments, gives us power, max HP, and damage reduction. He simply makes Tranquility work in our favor. If Club Festival enemies continue being this difficult to survive, then Ruler of the Edge Aizawa might see some use in Club Festival after all. I'm still in disbelief. Complete disbelief. Snowboard Froppy, Fluttering Snow Froppy. She was the best support 2 Club Festivals ago with how much she helped with the rules of Club Festival 7. But newer supports have taken her place. Still, she is a very unique support character who might be used on 1 or 2 days. I used her once this time and once in Club Festival 8. Froppy can give her allies search, cancel our status ailments, give us immunity to buff block, give status ailment notification, power up, and defense up. The power up is stackable, which is very nice. She increases team defense and provides some healing. She works especially well with her signature memory. I used her this time mostly to make use of search to deal with Hagakure. This is her signature memory chilling in an igloo, which gives her defense, damage reduction, and provides healing for the team. A super good memory, especially if your Froppy is base copy like mine. Summer Mina. I might be one of the few in my club who used Summer Mina this time, but I really depended on her to restrict our status ailments so I could at least finish the fight without getting confused. Summer Mina can restrict our status ailments to 5 and opponents' buffs to 10. We just have to keep her healthy, which can be pretty difficult with how hard Club Festival hits now. So I only really used her on a double support team. I'm not sure I can run mine by herself since she is just level 110. She provides very good healing, team cooldown, 2-turn last stand, damage reduction, max HP up, and very good damage buffs. Steampunk Bakugo. I only used him once this time. He works best when you don't want to plus ultra as much. Yet this time it's all about plus ultra. So maybe he'll shine again in a different club festival with different club festival rules. Or is his time finally over? If he reruns on a decent banner, I do still plan on summoning more of him since he is still a very unique character thanks to his auto skills. These auto skills over here. Celeb Bakugo. I can't believe I only used him one time when I used him all 7 days last club festival. Has the king of club festival finally been dethroned? His AoE multi-hit skills, debuffs, Bullseye, buff block, and team cooldown reduction usually make him a very good pick. He hits hard, he provides good utility too. But I needed characters who could help us survive more this time over doing big damage, so he didn't get to see much use. He did still contribute to a high score on the day I did get to use him, but Club Festival might be shifting to newer characters now. It's good news for newer players who don't have celeb characters, but I am super attached to my celeb Bakugo, so I'll be sad if this continues to be the case. Julio. Julio works well as sub DPS who can do good damage, provide status element nullification for the team, inflict paralysis, give the team penetration, evasion, speed, defense, critical resistance, critical hit rate, and critical skill impact. Basically, he does good damage and provides good team utility too, which makes him a good pick in general. I do wish that he had Bullseye from the start and not conditional Bullseye only after getting enhanced. It makes him harder to use on the first few turns. Victorious Bakugo. This Bakugo did so much in an old club festival, where I think strength was buffed back then. That might be before we even got a lot of our other Bakugos. I didn't have this Bakugo back then during his best club festival, but once I got him, I built him, and since then, though, he's kind of just been sitting there. But his time has finally arrived. His AoE buff block was so important for my team on the final day. Victorious Bakugo has buff block, a multi-hit AoE attack, piercing shot on his plus ultra, overwhelm, which lets him do a lot of damage based on how many temporary buffs he has. He has high crit, high speed, and high critical resistance. He is a great damage dealer with buff block being his best feature, I would say, and overwhelm too. If only he also had Bullseye. Star and Stripe. Star and Stripe is the RNG queen. If you can have RNG go your way, she can stun, inflict a lot of defense down, and give your team barrier and evasion. She can also apply vulnerable, decrease plus ultra gauge charge rate, decrease critical resistance, and decrease power. She also has Bullseye on 2 of her skills. She provides a lot of utility for the team while doing good damage herself. And this is Star at level 90. Once she reruns more, she's gonna do even better. She is the best Climax Boss character to use in Club Festival at the moment. I can't wait for her rerun, I really want to build her more. Next up is the character I used 2 times. Any guesses who it is? That would be Ruler of the Edge Endeavor. He did so well in Club Festival 8 too. I'm so glad he did well this time too and didn't just get used for only one Club Festival. I used him 3 times in Club Festival 8. Ruler of the Edge Endeavor does the best against characters who hide. Against those characters, he has Piercing Shot, High Crit, Buff Block, and cancels their last stands too. He does have permanent Bullseye and Search. He can apply defense down and give himself 2 turns of last stand, so he has decent survivability. If Hagakure or other hiding characters continue to be featured as our opponents in Club Festival, then Ruler of the Edge Endeavor might continue to be a good pick. And now for the top 3 characters, the MVPs of Club Festival 9. For me at least, this is my experience. First up, Hagakure. She carried Club Festival 8 for me, where I included her on 5 teams. This time she was on 3 teams, but still put in solid work. She provides buffs that can't be cancelled or restricted. You can choose who you want on your team to draw aggro with cover or evasion. Over time, Hagakure can give your team very high crit and high power. She provides status element nullification for entire turns, team cooldown on her auto skills. She also provides last stance, damage reduction, critical resistance, and very good healing. However, her cooldowns, since they are on her auto skills and not on her plus ultra, they do run out, so you could have some trouble with cooldowns by later turns, since Club Festival is 14 turns long. Hatsume Mei. She was a surprise for me this time since I did feel that Hagakure provided better buffs. But Hatsume swooped in and said, no, you want to plus ultra this time. Hatsume provided plus ultra gauge to the team, max HP, damage taken restoration, team cooldown, last stance, damage reduction, critical hit rate, power, and reduced effective time of status elements. She can inflict bind and blind, decrease defense, skill impact plus ultra move skill impact, and she can also buff block. She works best against teams that have a lot of cooldown time reduction. She worked very well with the Club Festival rules this time. I'm super glad I decided to pull on the 2025 retrospective banner and was lucky enough to get her. Even just base copy Hagakure and Hatsume did so much for the teams. And finally, the character I used 4 times, and I would say this time's top MVP, that goes to Power to Change the Future Bakugo. Mine is only base copy. In fact, the 3 characters I use the most, Hagakure, Hatsume, and Bakugo, are sadly all base copy. I was not lucky enough to pull him at all, so I had to get him from 200 pity. Bakugo put in so much work. With how hard the enemies hit, I had to depend on his block just to survive. But thankfully, he also does very good damage. He would, of course, do even better with more dupes. He provides good damage while being a very good tank. His high block allows our team to survive much more easily. He provides team cooldown, power up, defense up, and damage reduction when he has block. He also restores some of our HP, does good revenge damage, and gains bullseye and piercing shot once enhanced. After losing block, however, he loses a lot of his team utility and becomes more selfish. So it's best to keep his block up when possible. Since mine is base copy, I did have trouble getting his block to last the entire fight. But he still did well. My score would be a lot lower if I didn't have him. If Club Festival continues to hit as hard as this one, then Power to Change the Future Bakugo might continue to be fairly essential in the next one. And now for the honorable mentions. I don't personally have these characters, but I've heard people do well with them. Valentine's Nejire, All of Me Toga, Instant Clash Best Jeanist, Ruler of the Edge Denki, and New Year's Mina. All of these are super new characters, so there could always be another new character near the next club festival who will also do well. I do really want All of Me Toga and Instant Clash Best Jeanist, who are both Gen Pool characters. Some of the best characters in this club festival were actually Gen Pool characters, like Toga and Hatsume. I feel this actually makes Club Festival harder because there's no guarantee we could have gotten Hatsume or Toga outside of sheer luck unless we were willing to try our luck on Gen Pool banners. Maybe the game is shifting and wanting us to summon more on Gen Pool banners because lately I have been very impressed by new Gen Pools and not as impressed by many of our limited characters. Sadly, for the sake of my gems and tickets, I do still try not to summon on most Gen Pool banners unless they're my absolute favorites. But I am tempted. I might summon for Toga and Best Jeanist on the next Character Select Recruit banner. We'll see if I have savings by then. Who do you feel was the MVP of Club Festival 9? Which day was your favorite? Which day was the hardest? Let me know how your Club Festival went. We'll have new information on upcoming banners and characters by the time this video goes up. So my timing with my videos, as always, is pretty bad, since this isn't the hot topic anymore. But I hope you enjoyed anyway. I'll be back with Nejire summons and Ultra Rumble summons as well. See you in the next video. Luca out, and I'm really excited to see who is coming up next.